Yeah, some experience. Yeah, I know. Yeah, some experience. Yeah, I know all you Forex watchers people have experience trading breakouts, but let's dive straight into it today. Okay, so just as we begin, so the room is packed. It's been packed for like 30 minutes, I think. For those of you who couldn't get in, I apologize. You can watch the recordings, or if you're already watching the recordings, I've been noticing the room gets full 30 minutes prior. So we're working on a new webinar system where you can, as many people as they want can get in. It's going to be unlimited attendance. Okay, so we're going to bump it up to 1,000, 2,000 people for attendance. So, all right, let's get started here. Okay, so what kind of breakouts are there? What things can break out? What techniques can break out? Okay, news, range, support resistance. Okay, candle patterns. Supply and demand. Okay, very similar to support resistance, but okay. Supply and demand. And fib levels. Okay, now if we're looking at this list, isn't that practically everything in the market? That's practically the whole market. Like, so basically, trading a breakout is not a specific thing. Breakout is a specific style. Okay, there is no, oh, this time we're going to do something else and then that time we're going to do breakouts. No, you can do a breakout at any time. It depends how you target it and how you approach it. Okay, so breakouts, let's start from the very beginning and we'll start from there. Okay, now the news breakouts, they're the most deadliest ones and the most dangerous ones. Okay, because the news breakouts can whipsaw. Okay, does that make sense? How many of you guys here trade news breakouts? Twice, me, okay, too dangerous, never again, okay, good. Okay, and trading a breakout for the sake of a breakout is simply telling the market you are unaware which direction the market's gonna go, give me something and I'll trade that way. Okay, and then a million strategies around it have been developed, but no understanding of what a breakout really is. So we're going to go into that deep today, okay? We're going to go deep into that. We're going to uncover that myth and everything where all the trading strategies out there, that's like a whole breakout strategy, is just useless. Because this, my friends, is a breakout, right? When the markets go above this line, everyone is hitting a buy. Okay? Everyone's hitting a buy. And what happens to their buys? They get killed, right? They get killed. So when you look at situations like this, all breakouts and stuff like that can be very dangerous. Now take a look at this one. That's a breakout, right? So let's go through all the breakout strategies that you can think of. We're gonna go one by one. Okay? Breakout strategy number one. If it breaks below, hit the sell. That guy loses. Breakout strategy number two. If it breaks below, let it pull back and hold below that same support resistance, and then you hit the sell. Okay. Here's the sell afterwards there. It's EURUSD on the 15-minute time frame. Okay. Ranges. Ranges. Can everyone tell me that this is a range? Is this true? Is that a range? Yeah? Okay. What if I do this? Okay, do you guys see that market there now? At that point, did you know it was a range? No. Would you know to sell once the market gets up to this area? No. Okay, but what happens when the range develops? At what point do you notice the range is developing? Okay, let's move this forward. Move this forward. Market gets up to here, very, very strong. We're still unaware there's a range situation here. Okay, Linus, no higher highs, no lower lows. Excellent, excellent. But we need that data first to say it's a range. We can't just declare it a range yet, right? Yeah, 4 touches basically. Excellent figure, Philip and Eddie. Okay, and then the market comes back down, and right around the base, it starts to react. Now, take a look at this first one here. When this green candle shows up where my arrow is, can everyone hear me just fine? Yeah? Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, at this point where the green candle just pops right up, really, really strong there, wouldn't that person be like, the range is right there. That's the range. And then a buy might be hit right there. Thinking that we're on the 4th touch. I can see there was no higher high. I can see the market struggling to come down to make a lower low. And then that green candle comes and I'm like, yes, it's a buy. What happens to that buy? Okay, the buy gets cut, right? It gets stopped out. Stopped out, yeah. All right. Then the market proceeds to go long and long and long. The whole thing has left now. You're sitting there waiting for a breakout, but no breakout to understand at what point do I get in? At what point can I get in? And how do I trade this range thing? If there is a range, how do I trade it? You know, because once I get this 4th point down here, then my mind is stuck to a range and I'm expecting to sell from here because that's the 5th touch. So if that's the 5th touch, I'm looking at selling that thing. Well, what happens to that sell? Also out. Too late. Right? So understanding the market, like I always teach you guys in all my webinars, is reading the market is where it all makes a difference. Okay, and then you can incorporate the secondary stuff is what's your edge? Your edge meaning, are you a trend pullback trader? Are you a range trader? Are you a breakout trader? And all that stuff. Okay, so we're just identifying the scenarios right now. Once we identify them, then we're gonna go into what and the hows in a bit. Okay, so can anyone relate to this? You guys can all relate to this? That there is uncertainty in figuring out when the right moment is. Right? Okay, so let's move further. Let's move further. Let's open this up more. Okay, now let's dig deeper into this. Now, first of all, understanding logic of support equals resistance. Let's go into that. How many of you guys were here last webinar? Put a 1. Okay, we went through support equals resistance last webinar. Okay, and for those of you who do not know it, most likely if you're watching this recording, there will be a link somewhere showing up on the recording, or it's going to be in the description. All right, here, take a look at this one right here. If I draw this as my support, is that correct? No. Because that's not the place where the market held. Yeah, that's not the place where the market held. Take a look at this price right here, where the market kept coming down to, moving away from, down to, probed out, and held on the upper side of it. Which means this is just a tail. It looks like a candle got through, but it didn't. On a higher time frame, it would look like this. But if I go down to a lower time frame, I'll see all of these tails filled up like a candle. Is that correct? You guys understand that logic? It's exactly what you see right here. This right here is nothing but a tail, but on this time frame, it looks like there's two candles that got out. Clear? So keep an eye out for these things, because we're going to use these things as a understanding of what is going on. All right, so if I put my line back to where it's supposed to be, and then I say, okay, well, I didn't make a higher high. Okay, I'm going to go through it one more time. It looks like there was some confusion there. When the market goes through your support resistance but comes right back, that down there is just a tail. If you go up a higher time frame, it looks like this. You see these tails? If you see these tails, how would you draw your support? Would you draw your support here? The price is holding here. Or would you draw your support here? Oh, price is holding here. If you draw it down here, what's going to happen is you don't see that price got rejected and resumed from this area. This is a rejection area. Price keeps getting knocked back. That means this price is not wanted. If I go to a lower time frame on the 5 minute or the 1 minute, this tail that you see is going to be full of candles. But in reality, nothing happened there. The market went there and came right back. Make sense? All right. So, Chris, there's a question. So on minor support resistance, putting down two lines for areas are unnecessary. Yes, for minor ones, that's correct. Okay? So keeping a close eye on how quickly the market went out and came back. Like this. Take a look at this one. That is your resistance right there. The price went above, but he came right back down quickly. That's your resistance. Okay, it's not up here. Okay? So you'll get the hang of, when you play around like this, you get the hang of seeing the higher time frame and the lower time frame all in one picture. It's like seeing the universe above and below on one screen. Okay? So moving back to this area here. So we got a resistance up here holding. And then we got our support. We're like, it's not here, it's here. I'm going to extend this out. So I'm going to extend this out using the ray. So I have an idea in case I don't see the future. And it gets extended out all the way to the right. So I use the ray to extend it out. And then the price starts coming down and down and down and down. Now, at what point do I start thinking that this could be a range? When I have this. When I have that. When I have this, is that at that point I start thinking, okay, we got three, no higher highs, no lower lows, and for some reason, this price keeps respecting this resistance again and again and again because it moved away from this resistance. But this time it's coming in for the fourth touch, and we're like, what if this support or previous resistance reactivates? Okay, so instead of putting our focus on trading the breakout here, which is getting into the game very, 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 very late, we need to put all of our attention in putting a little bit of homework and focusing on grabbing the move. Does that make sense? Let me restart the audio maybe. It looks like it's going in and out for many of you guys. All right, is that better? Okay. Yeah, it may cut a little bit sometimes. Just bear with me. If there's something you want me to repeat, just let me know. Okay. So the market then pulls back and pulls back and pulls back. And as we discussed in some of the previous webinars, is when the markets are pulling back like that, that's a hint, because you're comparing this downtrend to the previous uptrend. How's the downtrend compared to this uptrend here? Slow, right? So if it's slow, weak and choppy, or slower, okay, good. Now, let's still take a step back and think. How is this uptrend compared to the downtrend here? How's that uptrend? Strong. Okay, and then how is this uptrend here? Yeah, strong and also fast, that's correct. It's also strong, right? But now answer this question. If it's also strong, why did he not break this resistance? That means someone up there is knocking it down. Not enough force. Yeah. Some price up there, there's still, yeah, exactly. There's still sellers up there. They're still waiting to hit the market back down. So when you see this stuff coming down, you can see it's weak, but you're like, well, it's got 3 touches. It didn't make a higher high. That means sellers have some power. You can't expect it to hit it midway, but you might want to wait for it to get to the edge. Okay? But while waiting for the edge, you're looking for at what point do the sellers die? At what point do the sellers die? So here's a sell. The first, we're going to go through it piece by piece. Look at it very carefully. Here's the first seller. And then the green candles come in to retrace. How much retracement? 50%. Okay. Then the next sellers come in. How much retracement? 70%. Okay. Is 70% 100%? No. 70 is 70. That means sellers are still there. Hang in there. Then the sellers come in down to here, and then we get a retracement. What kind of retracement is that? 50%. Okay. Then the sellers try again. So notice what happened from before. From 70% retracement to now 50% retracement. What does that tell you about the sellers? They're dying. No, it's the opposite. They went from 70% retracement down to 50% retracement. They're gaining momentum. They're building up power. Look at the previous seller's movement. That little. And the retracement, very deep. Look at the next movement. From there all the way down to here, and then like a 30% or 25% retracement there. Or 40%, I would say, actually. So they're gaining momentum. Now, it still doesn't mean they've covered everything yet. They're still running. Now that they're running, let's not forget the story. What happened here? What happened here? What is that red candle that came out and then it got smacked back? Yeah, it's called a probe, a fake out. Right? This tells you, just like we did the prejudiceness up here, saying that, okay, I got the idea that I know the buyers are strong, but something up here knocks it down. I get that the buyers are strong, and something up here, something whenever the sellers come here, it gets knocked back. Well, if the sellers are in control, we want to see if that something is alive. So as this comes to here, what happens here when this last seller comes in and then that big green candle comes? Buyers are coming. Yeah, buyers wake up. They're alive. Now, those are the first traders. The first traders get stopped out. Because the only thing to make money in this world is patience. Without patience, it's just loss. in every aspects of life, from money to relationships to even spirituality. Without patience, it is just a loss. Okay? First traders, get in there, get crucified. Okay? What happens after the first traders get in? The reaction comes back. What happens to this? What happens to this seller? How far does he get? Okay? How far does he get? Yeah. He gets... Now, this is a 15-minute candle. Let's say that candle opened up and it's 8 minutes into the candle. Wouldn't this be a full red bar? Do you guys agree or not? You didn't let the candle close. Only 8 minutes into it, it's a full red bar. And now in the full red bar, all the breakout traders are like, bloody hell, sell this, sell it, without understanding what is actually happening. Is that right? How many of you guys have felt in that trap? Have been screwed over by these big boys by, moving the markets like this? Right? It happens to a lot of us. It used to happen to me all the time. I used to get sucked in. I was like, man, I must have really bad luck, man. I keep getting stopped out. And I know it's a long, because every time I look at the market 10 hours later, I'm like, dude, it went up. Why did I get stopped out? Yeah. So just imagine, if you know this knowledge now, and going forward into trading, going into the next week or the next month, if you're doing trading like this and you have an idea of, I know what they're trying to do, imagine how your trading will be different. Imagine how much less losses will you have, and how much more profit can you gain knowing this information, because now you don't have to wait for your trade up here, but in fact you're waiting for it down here with a better entry, better exit, because you're in much earlier and you get to see, am I going to break through this? If I don't, well, at that stage I'm going to move my stop losses to 0, and I will figure it out at that point once I see the market reaction. The same way that I did going downtrend, I will do the same way going uptrend. Yeah, everyone with me? Who's with me? Yeah, just checking if anyone's sleeping. Okay, so there's 4 people not sleeping. Okay, good. You're all there. All right. So when you see this spike out happening, okay, how can you tell when there are going to be additional reactions? Okay, so the first signs are something like this. When you see buyers stepping back in, you always need a test. You always need a test. Okay, now there are times when the market will just run away. If the market just runs away, there's not much you can do. Like for example here, let's say you're waiting for 100% retracement, but the 100% retracement never happens. But you see a probe happen, and the market's holding next to the probe. That is also a sign to hit. Okay? Alright, so when this happens, it's 100% retracement. Following the 100% retracement, we're like, okay, we're aware of this area, but we're aware that the sellers were dominant earlier, and this area reacts. Once this area reacts, you're waiting for the last push down that holds. Once the last push down tries to break below, think in your brain in this way, that someone is selling at this stage. Someone is selling without the idea that the buyers are very, very strong. Someone is selling without doing the research that look at this buyer. Someone is selling with the idea without doing the research that look at this buyer. Someone is selling without the idea that this price down here is a hardcore reaction price. And when that someone sells and they get a stop out, it's time to trade. Because you were patient, you entered second. And when you enter after, all the mistakes have happened. Then you get to ride the profits. Okay? There's no V formation for a sell. Sell from where, Linus? Surya Kanta, how long to wait? If you're in the buy, you mean? How long do you want to wait? Well, once you're in the trade, you're gonna have to ride it all the way to the top of the range, is where you make your next decision, on the top of the range. Okay, look how strong the green candles are afterwards. Once the green candles are very, very strong, you know your buyer is back, but the buyer keeps getting smacked down again and again and again. So you are watching this area very carefully, and at this point you do your money management. You either close half of your trade, or you close half and move your stop loss to 0, and you take a risk with the other half to do a possibility of all of this. Right? So just a little bit of knowledge will keep you away from buying up here, and it will keep you away from a loss of selling down here. Does that make sense? This is a very common problem. Everyone who comes to Forex Watchers gets stuck in this little vibe of just getting trapped into selling, trapped into buying, or buying very, very late, or selling very, very late. Yeah? Okay, does time of day also important, especially for fake breakouts? Paresh, no. No, the time of day will automatically fit in. If there's a range and everything and there's a breakout happening, the breakout's happening because the markets are active. So generally you're going to be in a hot session when the breakout happens. Okay. Chris Sayers, I'm concerned about the fourth touch. How can you tell when all tests will end and will go long? Okay, so how many of you guys have a similar question to that? Where you guys want to recap this area again, the fourth area? Okay, we're gonna go through the fourth area very in detail again, and I'm gonna change the language a bit so it can make a little bit more sense. All right, I want you guys to think as once 3 touches happen, right? Here's touch number 1. Sorry, here's touch number 1. Here's touch number. I'm just gonna circle it. Here's touch number 2. Here's touch number 3. Right? Up until here, you guys are all with me, and I think you guys all got that. It's a simple 3 touches, no higher highs, and 1 low. Okay, now the fourth touch is coming in. You're thinking that you need to buy soon as it gets down to there. Forget the buy. I want you to start thinking like a seller. Just forget the buy. Think like a seller. So, you're this big seller, top dog from up here. You started this game right there. You're like, let's do this. Come on, boys, let's sell. The sell kicks off. Sell kicks off, and you get a reaction back from the buyers. You're like, damn you buyers. Sell kicks off again. Buyers react again. At this stage, you're starting to be like, well, what's wrong with my sell? Why isn't it going? You're starting to worry that my sell is not going to make it. But then this happens. He goes down further. And then, once he goes down further, what's in your mind for that sell? If he goes down further, what are you thinking as a seller? Yes, still going, keep it, it's gonna go forever. The seller has not quit because now he's just got that little drug of hold it, hold it, hold it. What happens afterwards? He retraces a bit, 40%. He's not worried, he's holding it because his mind is trained to hold it now because he just got the whiff of winning. Goes down further, reacts, he's like, it's taken some time. Goes down a little bit more, no lower low, a full reaction. Okay, now full reaction. He's now thinking, should I exit this? What's going on? Remember, just like the winning traders have to trade second, the losing trader does not give up his trade until he actually loses. Will you guys remember that sentence? The same way a losing trader will not lose his trade until he actually starts to lose. Okay? So when this buy comes in right here, he still feels he's a winner. He still feels he's a winner. It hasn't gone much. But when the sell comes down again and he gets down to this far, and he's rejoicing like, oh hell yeah, we're breaking out, we're going to make new lows. It snaps back up really hard. That's going to get him concerned. When it comes down again, no lows again. Now this is the third, fourth time no lows, and it snaps back up to there. At this point, he's going to get rid of his position. So any trades that you activate as a buy in this circle of reference gets you in a winning state of mentality because the trade's going to go. The sellers are looking to quit. So to be a buyer, you must get in the mindset of a seller and find out when is he going to give up and throw in the white towel. Does that make sense? So put yourself in the situation as a seller and think psychologically. At what point will I still hold on? At what point will I still hold on? At what point will I still hold on? And at what point will I quit? Okay? And don't forget, people are stubborn. If they're in a sell, they're going to hold that sell for a bit. They're stubborn, so you have to wait for that secondary push down. Okay? So, hopefully that explains the fourth touch. All right. And then the buyers come in and then they take the market long. And we're not going to go into how do you learn how to hold on and stuff like that. So we're going to discuss that in probably another webinar or any webinar discussion like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change the breakout in a different way. Now this time I'm going to test you guys. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to test you guys to see how far did you guys pick up this stuff. Yeah, you guys ready? You guys ready to do a little exercise? Yeah? Okay, so let's do this. Breakouts can also happen from trend lines, right? Would you guys agree that this is a trend line here if I draw it like that? Okay, so if I draw my trend line like that, or like that to be precise, my breakouts start happening here. Okay, my breakout starts happening here. So let's work through this. Can I just hit the buy right then when the breakout happens? No. Right? So now you guys know you can't just immediately enter. But even if you wait for the retest can still spike down or even make a whole new downtrend. Okay? What if I do this? Just to make things a little bit more difficult. You know, the more difficult things are, the more you guys will think. So that's good. Here, I'm going to make the trend line hardcore like that. That's a trend line. If you don't see that's a trend line, let me do this. This is, what day is this? 9/23, right? Do you guys think that's an aggressive trend line? That's too strong? That's too strong, right? The trend line? Okay, let me do this. Now watch carefully. What if I go down, what day is this again? 9/23. Let me go down to the 5 minutes. I'm gonna go to, how do you change the dates? Command G? No. Where's the date? Okay, anyways, go to date, 23rd. Okay, we're here. Now does this look an aggressive trend line? Or does this look like a normal trend line? There you go. There you go. So, what is aggressive to you might not mean aggressive to somebody else. Remember that. What you see is not the final answer. Okay, so there is someone trading that breakout. Yeah. So a time frame. It's not just time frame, but it also depends on a person's perception. It's one person's perception against the next person's perception. That's why trading is just so random like that. It's just what I see doesn't necessarily mean what is true. But the only way to trade in an absolute perfect way is to get in the rhythm of what's happening, what's happening, what's happening. Okay, so let's just look at this. Okay, so would you say this trend line is drawn like pretty much accurately? Like that? And the breakouts start getting poked in this area, like they're just starting to mess with it right there. Okay. So, who wants to practice this one? Who wants to give this a shot? I need 10 volunteers at least. Is the conference room still running? Yeah. Okay. And okay, actually we can make as many of you guys want to practice this. We're going to start from the top and you guys will just type it in and what you see, and we're going to go piece by piece, okay? And the more you verbalize and if you're at home, you don't want to type, you want to say this out loud. Saying it out loud will actually help you understand the situation much better. Speak it out. Speak it out. Verbalize it. Okay? So, what's the question? We'll go into the question right now. We're going to find out if this breakout trade is a trade to be traded. Okay? So we're going to learn how to look at the trend line, and we don't just see, trend line broke, let's buy. We're going to understand, should I be buying this to begin with? Right? Because in breakout terminology, that's a buy. End of story. Because they're very technical. They're 1, 2, 3, execute. 1, 2, 3, execute. But 1, 2, 3, execute also means 1, 2, 3, execution. You're dead. You need to do a little bit more homework. Okay? So let's do that homework together. So I'm going to show you how easy it is if you work on it together with everybody. All right, so let's start from the top. Markets are going down. Okay, what do you guys, when it goes down, how do you see the retracement of the sellers? Think you're a seller. You're that seller, all 10 of you guys who are volunteering. You're that seller. Okay, fast. How's the retracement? 50%. Are you confident in holding your position? Yes or no? Yes, you're still confident. Markets move down, makes a bit of a lower low, but it comes right back. Looking at the way the green candles are coming right back, are you confident to hold your position? Yes or no? Yes. You guys are still sellers. You get all the way down to here. And then you got a retracement. Are you confident now? And tell me if your confidence just increased or not. More confident. And then the price gets all the way down to here and then it retraces. Tell me about your confidence now. Still confident. Still there. And now the breakout happened. Do you think that seller quit? So, those of you who trade this breakout for a buy, will this trade work? No. This was destined to fail to begin with. Okay? So, does everyone start to understand that breakouts are a fantastic thing to trade, but it's a style of trading. It is not an understanding of the market. Yeah? Okay? So if we say sellers probably not trading on the 5-minute chart and higher time frame buyers won't look as so strong, whatever time frame you look at this, the story still remains the same. This is all the receipts of everyone who's sold into this transaction. This is a receipt. It's historical proof of what has happened. Right? Each transaction is a receipt. Each candle is a receipt. Okay? Seller has lots of pips in pocket, so they wait for some time for sure. Yeah. You got to think, and they're aggressive too, right? They're not looking to get rid of this position anytime soon. They have to be in a loss a little bit, and then they're going to be like, oh my God, let me hold it for a little bit longer. Then they quit. They don't quit at the first sign of a loss. Yeah, the sellers are still dominating. So once the sellers still dominate, what's the right way to look at a breakout now? For a sell side or the buy side? If I'm still on this chart and I see sellers are still in control, which breakout do I want to work with? There you go. There you go. You guys are picking up quick. Look at this. I'm more interested in finding out, when is this sucker gonna break? Is that correct? That's where the real money is, because now I figured out the answer, and now my answer is flip-sided, and it's saying, okay, let whoever wants to buy it. I'm gonna take their money afterwards. I'm gonna give them their turn. It's okay. Let them go first. I'll be patient and I'll wait for my turn. Okay, is everyone with me so far? Naveed, all I said was, knowing that the sellers are still strong, I'm gonna look to see when the buyers quit, so I can resume the strong sell. Okay, so as this uptrend is resuming, okay, 10 volunteers again to look at this, and those of you who are not like feeling like typing, say it out loud behind your screen. Talk it out, walk with me. What's going on with this uptrend? You're that buyer. What happens when this buy pulls back like that? 50%. Are you still confident? Okay, still confident. Market moves a little bit higher, but the retracement doesn't show any signs. Are you still confident? Then you see a massive red candle coming out this low, but then you're like, oh my God. Still holding, but oh my God. But then the candle closes green. Are you still holding? You're still at it. Then the market pushes up a little bit again. No highs. Are you still holding? Yeah, you get a relief when you saw that big wick on the bottom. Big tail, sorry. So you're still holding. And then the market pulls back here. It's 100% pullback from the previous one, but it's still an overall very strong up. At this point, you're like, oh my God, the sellers are a little bit strong. But would you still hold? Yeah, you guys are. If you want to sell, you have to be the buyer. You got to think like that. That's probably like the quickest hack I get my traders to do. You want to sell, think like a buyer. Okay? Yeah, Chan, very good. But the 100% pullback is creating panic already. Yeah, it's not just the panic of the pullback that's so deep. It's the speed that it came down. It took you so long to get up here, but then so quickly you saw that when you were in profit of $7,000, it suddenly became 6,000. In three little candles, immediately it took away $1,000 extra. And you're like, all right, at least go back to 7,000. At least go back to 7,000, right? Isn't that what most traders think? They're like, forget the chart. Let me go back to the same number I was at. Yeah, let's go back to the same number and I'll close. I promise, I'll close it at that number. They start bargaining with life. So this is very, very common. They just start looking at that number. I want to go back to that number at least. So it's very psychological. Yeah, and we've all done it. I've done it too. I used to do that a lot. I used to do it all the time. And that really messes you up because you're not looking at the chart. You're just looking at your account balance. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So, okay, so what happens to that seller? Once that seller gets crushed here, the seller comes in and the buyer is starting to panic, and he starts to go up again. What's happening to that buyer? Is he still there? He's still holding? He's like, oh, yeah, there's still hope. There's still hope. And then this happens. It's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. Loss, possibly coming down to a stop loss. If they've moved their stop loss higher, it's coming there. They're looking at this area like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. And they start executing all sorts of closings, either here, sorry, wrong one. Either here, the panic close, here, panic close, here, panic close, or if they're the bargaining type of people, come on, go back to this price and I'll close it. Come on. They start becoming cheerleaders. The pom-poms come out. Like, come on, baby, we're going back. Okay, so there's two types. One is fearful, the other type is greedy. All right? So, and then you see your sports team go back to profit and you're like, yeah, we're getting up there again, and you're now looking to possibly exit. Now, when do you exit? When the green candle is this high? When the green candle is that high, are you exiting? But what happens when you see that green candle and it makes a new high? No one exits. No one exits. At that point, you got another hope. You're like, you know what? I'm going to make a lot of money from this. I'm just going to hold on. But the moment you see that red candle right after it slam down, like boom, you're like, okay, sorry. And you close it. This is the point of the psychological process of that seller, of that buyer, sorry. And you're like, okay, screw this. And then you go rejoice or whatever you have to do because you have some profit. What happens to all those breakout sellers? What happens to them? It almost looks like the trade just went up to stop them out. To them, that's what it looks like. I got stop hunted. Damn effing broker. They're always after me. And then let me just email Naveen and ask him what broker he uses. I can show you guys like 30 emails a day I get about brokers. So this happens quite often. Yeah, it happens a lot. So because it's a common problem. So all the breakout traders are looking to sell at this stage because they're not selling anywhere up here. They're not anticipating the sell. They're selling after the sell starts to happen. So they're selling very, very late, and then any point that it goes up, it's a stop loss. So that's one thing. The next thing is those of you who noticed this, the thing that gave the buyers hope is an important price to remember. Because now, did you guys notice no higher high? No higher high. No higher high. Did you guys also notice no lower low? No lower low. No lower low. And a probe. That low never happened. But in this process, when you read the entire story from this range, you know exactly around this stage here, you can execute your sells. Because you know, Big Daddy, those 10 people in this conference room still have the money to sell. They're ready to go. And the buyers just quit. It's our turn. It's our time. We're going to make it. Yeah. And Krista, that's absolutely perfect. When you don't have money on the line, all this you can observe. When you have money on the line, the moment you open a trade in a buy, for example, you don't see anything but a buy. If you open a sell, you don't see anything but a sell. Your mind goes blank. because that's what happens when a trade runs. You guys need to practice dealing with that. Meditation is very good for stuff like that. Learning to step away from the screen and taking a break, talking with people and discussing all the stuff and be like, okay, how do I deal with this? Getting in a community to deal with stuff like that. You can't just fix it just by thinking about it. You have to talk about it. You have to, deal with your fellow traders who have the same problem. You have to talk to people who've gone through it already and be like, how did you do it? What is your hack? And then see if it works for you. If it doesn't, reach out to another person. What did you do? Let me see what works for you. Let me try that. Isn't that right? Isn't that why a lot of you guys are here at my webinar? You want to see like, okay, let's see what he has to teach. Let me see if it's useful for me. The brain is constantly looking for information, and when you find good information, you're like, I can use that. So learning is not necessarily a bad thing. Right? So, how many of you guys feel you guys learned something here today? Yeah? And how many of you guys at this point are going to promise me that going forward, you guys will make the changes necessary to not be that first person to get trapped? Say, I promise. Yeah? Do not get stuck into this. Do not get stuck into this, sudden movement and impulse thinking. All right, guys. So today we're gonna wrap it up now. And those of you guys who have already received emails for Forex Watchers, it's the end of the month. We have opened up some memberships. There was an early bird special, I think, that went out yesterday. Those of you who could not join, there is the discount today going out for 25%. Now we don't have the early bird coming in anymore at 35%. Now it's available for 25%. So first come, first serve. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys in there. Remember, if you guys think I made a change for you guys in this one webinar here, imagine what a community full of traders like this can do for you. So looking forward to seeing many of you guys at Forex Watchers. This will be on YouTube. So look out for the emails for recordings. Look out for the emails for the coupon to join Forex Watchers as well. Thank you all for being here. Until next time, I will see you guys in a few weeks. I will be in Japan next month. For those of you who were in San Diego and sent an email, I'm sorry I couldn't meet you guys. I was very busy in San Diego, but Japan, I have started to receive some emails. If there's more, let me know. We will meet. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, I'd like to share with you a trade that was taken by one of our successful students, YG, who's working on the e-currencies. This trade was taken on 29th of March on .USD Tether, one of his favorite e-currencies. And as you see, currencies here, .USD Tether, similar to all other e-currencies, is kind of in uptrend. Let me show you. If we look at usually macro chart of scalpers, which is around 1 to 4 hours, we have uptrend here, but we had some sort of pullback, and this pullback, I think in this area, is kind of counter trend. And YG show it here with this white color. So this white color, if I want, and I don't have this chart, but I think it's using usually 1 to 4 hours chart for the macro structure. So this one is in fact going kind of here, and that's this color. So now if I update it, it's like this. So anyway, in the uptrend, when it says that momentum is going down and the trading chart, which is here, is coming down, and it breaks below here, and it at and it is in the correction mode, which is against the main trend of macro, but the trading chart is aligned with here, which is this area. It takes a trade, therefore is an uptrend in terms of macro here, but it sees opportunity in the structure and trading charts, which is downtrend. And because these are downtrend against uptrend, we have a medium risk scenario now. And therefore he has to be cautious and just go with single target with or without break even, which is exit strategy number 1 that we use for novice trader, till a trader become consistent and move to the intermediate and advanced level. So anyway, you see clearly here the uptrend, and then in the structure and trading chart we have downtrend situation. So his evaluation and analysis is okay. This area is correct, this area is correct. So this macro chart, he has to be aware that it's really knows that is in uptrend, but these two are downtrend and the momentum is good. So algo 1, 2, 3 pass, then it has to be in over now, downtrend overbought area, good risk to reward ratio. Let's see, this is trading chart. Now we see the middle channel here, we see the entry channel area, and he lets this pullback completes here. This cut line here shows that the pullback is completed. Now here he waits for this pullback again. Now he is here in the good area of overbought with good risk to reward ratio, because this channel is 1/4 of the whole dynamic channel. The stop loss is correct and first target is correct, exit strategy 1. So everything seems fine. Okay, now exit. We had fractal swing low for confirmation that the sellers came back. Risk management okay, so he's done everything right, and his trade reached the target here, first target. And that's just one example of kind of advanced trades that a trader knows that is going against the macro chart, but because the structural and trading charts are in high probability trading area, the area of entry is correct, the sellers came back, risk reward is correct, and his intention is not to get a big runner or multiple target, just simple scalp, quick, and enough to get some profit in this area. Anyway, this was a quick another example of a trade that was kind of counter trend, but when I talked to YG, he was very aware that he's going against this major uptrend that is forming in macro charts, but because this area was high probability trading area and he knows he's gonna go with one target, he did well, and his trade worked and reached the target, and he didn't continue anymore, because anytime the buyers could come back and bring the price up and trap these short sellers here. And as you see, the buyers came back again and took this pullback as an opportunity to buy in this oversold area. Anyway, we don't recommend to everyone to take this kind of trade. The beginners and novice traders only has to take this area very low risk, when all three charts are either uptrend or they are downtrend, and these need to be filtered. So 22 possibilities allowed out of 27 possibilities for novice traders. Thanks, let me know if you have any question, and thanks to YG for sharing this trade. Hi everybody, we have a few trades that our graduated profitable traders shared with us. First one is on Great British Pound USD by SH. Let me play his clips. So as you see here, he's shorting here. The macro structure shows this breakout at this support, so we have a downtrend here that is seen in this area, as you see, of the structural chart of 1 hour against the macro of 6 hours. And when we play his clips now, he shows here 500 ticks, which is trading charts, and it just, as you see, entry is right, target is right. Let me show you. So the middle channel is correct, the stop loss is correct. He enters here, trail the stop, entry area, the upper 1/4, good risk to reward ratio. And instead of putting target here, he put it down in this area, even more close to the major supports, that we don't see it in this chart. We need to zoom it down out. So I think, yeah, we just hit the target with very good risk to reward ratio. So thanks SH for sharing this trade on the Forex pair of Great British Pound USD today on 25th of April 2022. Also, I saw Yasin shared this trade on .USD there. So as you see, the structural 2 hours shows kind of sideways, but it's already rejected at this stage. So we see this trend line is broken, so the price is broken here, you see, and it's coming up. So he's taking this wave because there's enough money up here. He's taking this channel in the high probability trading area when the two chart of structure and trading charts of 5 and 30 minutes are aligned. And so he waits for this pullback come here and then enters in here and reach the first target. So that was a quick trade. You see also this channel that broke, so enters here with this target here and stop loss here. So thanks Yasin for sharing this trade. So another trade was shared by Easy. Easy is showing that he took this short on the S&P CFD using Forex broker, and he saw 4 hours chart that shows a breakout at this stage. So this is a level that broke here. This one here broke, and then you see in 1 hour chart as a downtrend channel and 15-minute chart as an entry channel. So he short this and this one around here using trading chart around 5 to 15 minutes. You see this channel and enters in upper area here with the stop loss that is in this area, and therefore good risk to reward ratio, but his target is actually lower part of channel because of good momentum. It reached the target, and this is the amount of profit it took from this trade from here to here, which I think looks like is around maybe 20 points of S&P. So thanks Easy for sharing these trades, and everybody in the group. So I appreciate that. Hope these trades are useful for you to see the application of Pat. Also Sam shared another trade that he took early morning Sydney time. I think was Yeah, it was on S&P 500 CFD, and we took this short trade here and reached the target. So thank you everybody for sharing these trades, and you also for watching and interested. Let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Hello everyone. I'd like to share with you a few trades that were posted on Wednesday, 21st of June 2023. These trades were shared by AP, who's trading S&P 500 in form of CFD. As you see, the 4-hour macro chart is showing breakdown, and you can see in 1-hour structural chart the downtrend channel, and he identified area of pullback that got completed and entered 2 position and managed them and exit with exit strategy number 2 with profits. Also, when the price got rejected at the support level, he identified the area that buyers came back and entered here with setup B with multiple positions, and we can see that is managing and trailing this to close on the other side of the channel with profit. So thank you AP for sharing your trades with us. The next trade was shared by AA, who's trading Nasdaq CFD. As you see, the macro chart is in downtrend, and we can see the red candles that is forming lower low constantly, and we can see downtrend channel in the structural chart here, and using the 10-second trading chart, he identified an area of pullback and entered here and managed to close this with profit using exit strategy number 1. So thank you AA for sharing your trades with us. The next trade was shared by Ren, or global instructor and programmer, who's trading S&P 500 CFD. As you see, the channel on the 1-minute chart here is showing the structural chart that is going up and is aligned with the higher time frames. So when the pullback got completed using algo 1 to 5, he entered in this area and set the stop here with very good risk to reward ratio and closed this on the other side of channel using exit strategy number 1 with very good risk to reward ratio and profit. So thank you Ren for sharing your trades with us. The next trades were shared by Castro, or global instructor, who's trading USD Japanese yen. As you see, the macro chart of 1 hour showing uptrend, and when the pullback got completed, he entered in this area with very good risk to reward ratio and managed and closed this with very good runner and high profit. The next trade also was shared by Castro, who's trading USD CAD, and as you see, the macro is in downtrend and entered in this area with very good risk to reward ratio, and as you see, it's getting close to the target. The next trade that Castro shared was on S&P 500. The price broke this dynamic support area, and he identified the area of downtrend and entered again here with very good risk to reward ratio and managed and closed this one also with profit. So thank you Castro for sharing your trades with us. The next trades were shared by Jan, or global instructor, who's trading Nasdaq futures. As you see, the macro chart is in downtrend, and you can see the downtrend channel in 1-minute structural chart. So using 10-second trading chart, he identified multiple area of pullback and entered here based on algo 1 to 5 and managed and closed this with exit strategy number 1. And the result of these 4 trades shows 100% win rate, and the average winning trades were 122, and the largest winning trade was $150. So thank you Jan for sharing your trades with us. The next few trades are those that I have taken during the New York market session, and the video with detailed explanation was sent to students yesterday, so I'm gonna replay the video here for you. Hello everyone, I'd like to share with you the trades that I have taken today on Wednesday, 21st of June 2023. These trades were taken on Nasdaq and also Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures. If you look at the macro chart of hourly, we can see the market was going down constantly last few days, and you can see on Nasdaq daily here it was selling strongly. So we can see that during the Globex session, the price fluctuating around these points of control on all minis, which is the previous day close, and then before the market opens it started to go down, and so I waited for the price to stabilize, and when on Dow Jones tested this level and the price got rejected, the buyers came back. So these green candles were taken with the long position on these uptrend channels here repeatedly, and then I came back close to the end of the market and I saw the price is testing this support level on Nasdaq, and you see these candles just before the market close traded this area, these two candles here and here just before the market close with long positions, and you can see the entry of long positions and exits. So these signals were copied by copy trader to multiple Apex Trader funds accounts, and the result was showing that we reached profit factor of 5.28 with 70% win rate from long sides, and the average win to loss ratio was 2.19. The largest winning trade was 260 and the largest losing trade was $69. So hope this trade taken by the PAT system is useful for you, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Hello everyone, I'd like to share with you a few trades posted on Monday, 27th of March 2023. These trades were shared by Jan, our global instructor who's trading gold in form of CFD using a Forex broker. As you see, the macro 4 hours chart shows breakout, and you can see downtrend channel better in 30-minute macro charts. So that is accelerating now, and then using 5-minute structural chart, you can see that momentum is increasing now, and we have a wider range. And using 1-minute trading chart, he identified a good pullback in area based on algo 1 to 5 and entry signal. He entered one position here and exit here with exit strategy number 1 and closed this one with profit. And again, when there was another pullback, he entered another sell short position and closed it also with profit. So thank you, Jan, for sharing your trades with us. The next few trades are those I have taken at the beginning of New York market session, and the video with explanation was sent to students yesterday, so I'm gonna replay the video here for you. Hello everyone, I'd like to share with you a few trades that I have taken on Monday, 27th of March 2023 on Nasdaq and also Russell futures. The market went up during the global session, and we had a high around 13,000, but during the global session and when the market of New York opened, it went down and tested the level of the close, which was around 12,900, and this is a point of control also. And let's look value area low, yeah, and now the point of control is around 13,000, and market passed that level also. So when I saw that this got rejected here, entered here with setup B and also C, and later took the setup T here and traded with 10-second trading charts against structural 1 minute and macro 5 minute. You see the long positions here taken, and also here you see on Russell these long positions. So that was just quick trades for 10 minutes at the beginning of New York market. Each signal was copied by copy trader to multiple Apex Trader fund accounts, and we see that on average we got profit factor around 2.7 with about 70% win rate from the long side, and average win to loss ratio was 1.21, and the largest winning trade was 160 and the largest losing trade was 194. And it seems the market is fluctuating now at this level and is trying to decide if it can break this level on the daily chart, which is very important level, and that become a very bullish signal for the price to continue, and it will be another wave of uptrend that can go as high as 14,000. So hope this trades taken by the PAT system with order flow confirmation is useful for you, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Hello all traders, I'd like to share with you a few trades posted on 6th of July by our graduate students and instructors. This clip is from MF that is showing that he traded and shorted Euro CHF, and as you see the structural the macro 4 hours showing downtrend After breakout here, he identified trade, and you see in the trading chart the channel is very clear with good entry, multiple position, and exit strategy number 3. He shorted, and I'm going forward, fast forward to see what targets are reached, and he usually manage it also manually based on the trend line and momentum. So all I think one just target left and a stop loss was trailed, and that's the end of his position. So thanks MF for sharing this trade with us. Then the next clip is from Ren, who's showing that by using a robot that scans hundreds of instruments, for the first 4 algo, he identified a very low risk scenario for Euro AUD. And as you see, it's in downtrend. In macro chart, structural shows momentum increasing. And in the middle of channel, he identified this opportunity at the right algo 4-5 and entry signal. As you see, the risk to reward is significant, and this is the amount of initial entry that is usually trailed, and the risk is reduced, and the average trade is usually this much, and sometimes this target 3 is also trailed. So thanks Ren for sharing this trade with us, and it's very useful for all the students to see that. The next clip was from SH, sent this clip shorting Euro Pound, and he's using one chart to see the macro with these lines, which is downtrend, and structural, and also a smaller time frame. As you see, this is a trading channel. The pullback is shown here. This is a reaction to the dynamic channel, and so he's shorted this. And let's fast forward his trade. To see. So he's putting target in the second part of the channel and trail it now to the break even, and manually so reach the target now here at this point. So thank you very much SH for sharing this trade with us. The next one is a picture of the E-mini S&P futures contract that was traded by Yasin, and he's gonna send a video with explanation separately. Thanks for sharing this, Yasin. The next video clip is from Yan, our global instructor, who is trading here the S&P 500 CFD using a Forex broker, and using NinjaTrader futures data. He shows here that he's looking at the higher time frames and 12 hours time frame. As you see, the very big picture and the 30-minute macro showing kind of rejection at this level. And let me play his video. Downtrend, and structural chart of 5 minutes, and entry signal was obtained in 1 minute chart, as you see here, with exit strategy number 1. So let me fast forward. This is his explanation on algo 1 and 2, and then algo 3. One long trend here, and with rejection at higher level, you see downtrend channel here, and entry and exit here with a stop loss. Everything is according to the path system, and the 2 trade was taken on the 6th of July 2022. Thanks Ian for sharing this trade with us, and appreciate that. Also, Sam has successfully completed his combine and sent this picture, and he's gonna send you all the video details of his $150,000 combine. Congratulations, that is significant achievement, and he got funded now with the $150,000 account. His profit target was $9,000, and he reached that $9,000 within 2 2 weeks, 15 working days, and everything got accepted by the fund provider. So congratulations, Sam, and looking forward to the details of your video. Thanks everyone. I hope these videos and trades are useful for you, and have a wonderful day. Hi everyone, I'd like to share with you a few trades posted by our graduate students and global instructors on Thursday, 4th of August. This clip is from Castro, our global instructor, showing that he shorted the Dow Jones Industrial Average CFD. So as you see, macro chart of 1 hour shows rejection, and you see here rejection at this level, and the entry point here in the smaller time frame. You see here 15-minute. Clearly these two low are lower and previous swing high, and then you see that the channel on 1-minute trading chart. And for confirmation, for better entry, and he looks at also volume profile and order flow. And let me see his clip. So as you see here, the rejection here at point of control. So these few lows are lower than previous lows, so we see as a channel here, and clearly this price went down and retested point of control, and Castro entered here, and now aiming to take profit at this value low area. So he's close to the target, and with the risk to reward looks like 1, 2, 2 or 3, and reaching the target and managing the trade actively. So thanks, Castro. Let's look at the next trade, also by Castro. This clip is also from Castro, showing that he shorted Dow Jones. This looks like the swing before the previous trade, and just at the beginning, this is 1-minute channel showing. So he entered, actually not, that was the previous trade was here. This trade is in this area because he saw that the price went and couldn't hold the area that is out of the range, and then came back and tested the value area high, entered that area, and is reaching the 66% area of value area high. So entered here and taking profit here. And so the risk is this much, and the reward is few times, 3 times at least more, with good probability. The next clip is also from Castro, again continuously shorting the Dow Jones Industrial Average. As you see, the price went further down, and if we go faster, you see this wave was taken, this swing was taken, now this swing is taken with good risk reward ratio. And that's, if I go fast forward to the area here, you see this was first trade, the second trade, this third trade. After retesting the point of control, price went up again, came back again to the zone, and now he took it from here all the way, trying to reach the VWAP. So around 120 points on Dow Jones Industrial Average futures, and he's taking this one with very good risk to reward ratio. And if we go here, is close to the target now with tighter stop that was trail, and 120 around 120 point on the Dow Jones. So the first clip and trade is again shorting Dow Jones Industrial Average CFD, and as you see, the price on this one reached the target again after reaching the VWAP, went up to the point of control and got rejected again. So he entered again here with good tight stop loss, aiming again to reach the previous VWAP area. So it's a trade in progress, and if I go fast forward, it's getting close to the target. So we see the channel like this in 1 minute chart, which is downtrend, and this is according to the algo 4 and 5 in right area. So thanks Castro for sharing all this with us. The next clip is from Easy, who's graduated recently and became consistent, working on his small account to master the path system. And you see he long the eurusd, and as you see here, is trailing the target. Here we see the price going up to retest various resistance area, and you see that the channel on 5 minute chart with better entry on 1 minute chart is trailing the active position with this trend line, and also from here bring the stop loss closer to the target, which is here. So that's his clip now. Let me fast forward his video. Okay, getting close to his target. Okay, close it manually, looks like. Thanks Easy for sharing your trades, and well done. Practicing the path system and reaching consistency and posting your trades every day. So thanks everyone for watching, and hope these trades are useful for you, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Hi everyone, I'd like to share with you a few trades posted by your graduate students and instructors on 28th of July 2022. This is a picture of trades taken by Ren, and he was seeing this as a channel, and also see breakout at this point, and see this channel is accelerating, and then trade it here. It's a slope again, so the entry here is a little bit late, but for this channel the entries area are okay, and the target seems okay. Exit strategy number 3 actually. And Ren also sent this clip on the trade that he took it on 28th, and you see USD CAD was shorted here on the time frames of 30-minute macro, 15-minute structural, and 1-minute trading charts. He saw opportunity to enter. So let me fast forward as he explained his trades to the students. So okay, you see channel downtrend, so you see momentum here. Very low risk scenario. Algo 1, 2 passed so far. Algo 3 here is also passed. 3 charts are aligned. So Algo 4 and 5s are here. The signal came at this point, and he waited for the pullback. So that's Algo 4, and then risk to reward Algo 5, and entry signal came, and then he took it with exit strategy number 3 that reached all the 3 targets. So thank you very much, Ren, for sharing your trades with us. Then Castro, our global instructor, shared this trade with us. This is his entry chart, 1 minute. Let me fast forward his video. In bigger time frame, you see the macro structure here. Rejection happened at this level, and then as you see, it's accelerating downward, and you see it in another 15-minute structural chart better. So again, rejection at this level, and at the then entry, form head and shoulder and order flow at the buyers ran out of the bullet. This is around the previous value area high and of the previous day. So it tried to reach and pass, but the seller came back. This was area that he entered and is trying to take profit in this area. And is another smaller chart time frames. Okay, now you see more candles here that from here started to fall down. So his exit is here, entry here. This is Dow Jones Industrial Average. So the volume is not so much, but you can still see that. So with price action, it's very clear. The whole area shows downward direction, and this area was previous day also high that didn't hold. Okay, that's the end of video. Anyway, his risk to reward so far is good, and he closed it manually if you see buyers coming back, and so far has this amount of profit against this amount of risk. So this is 160 points on Dow Jones. If you have one E-mini lot, that's going to be around $1,000 on each contract. So thank you very much, Castro, for sharing your trades with us. Then MG shared this trade with us, as you see. So the next clip is from MG, who has long the Nasdaq CFD. There was here support that came back. The dynamic channel here broke, went up, came back and retested. So it's forming another uptrend channel. So his target is a small because he's just aiming for a small profit at this reversal. The volatility is high, and this is a reversal, so it's advanced trade, not recommended for novice traders. So like some profit, I'm waiting for this target to be reached. That was just reached. So thank you very much, MG, for sharing your trades with us. Easy, also a graduate student, shared this trade with us, who's longing the S&P 500. And as you see here, clearly the charts are here, 5 minute, I think macro 30 minute. And after breakout here, the price is accelerating. And you see it in 1 minute chart clearly as a channel entering properly here with tighter stop because the channel was at that time here. So the entry was in good area here, and the targets are actually way higher because momentum is higher. So if we enter two position looks like, and managing that, let me go. Okay, trailing with the trend line is a stop loss. Just close to the target. Easy also shared this clip, and he is shorting your USD. And as you see here, is trailing now his profit. The macro seems downtrend, or a white channel leaning toward downtrend, and he see pullback here in this area. The channel is more clear on 1 minute charts. You see this, and then the entry, everything is according to algo 4 and 5, and entry signal this strategy number 1. Thank you very much, Easy, for sharing this trade with us. Hope these trades are useful for you, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Hello everyone, I'd like to share with you a few trades posted by our graduate students and global instructors on 19th of July. Ren sent a picture of this system of robot that detected the 4 algo, and he detected a signal on the, let me see, what's the Forex pair? AUD at this time you see the signal came, and it aligns the three charts, it detects that macro, structural, and trading charts are in uptrend, and it recognize the entry point, and you can see how it reached the three targets according to the this robot, and the robot sends signal at this point, but the trader comes and check the algo 4, 5, and entry signal manually, and choose the right position. So this is a picture, and he sent also 2 clips. This bot also detected signal on Euro Japanese yen, and you see it's a similar pattern, and it shows uptrend, it breakout here, and the channel here you see on the smaller structural and trading charts, entry and exit signals. Everything according to PAT system works very well, and robot detected the signal here, and the trader entered here in the right area after seeing the entry signal and oversold area. So thank you very much, Ren, for this clip. Let me fast forward. It's just explanation to the students that he put it in this clip, and with the risk to reward ratio. So the next clip is also from Ren. It's actually the AUD Japanese yen, that the movie clip that he's explaining to the students the entry signal and the alignments of the 3 charts for the algo 1 to 3 and the location and so on. So I just skipped that, and thanks Ren for sharing these trades on the Forex page. Actually, he sent also another trades. This is a clip that his robot detected this pair, pound New Zealand dollar, was in short downtrend in high probability trade area with algo 1 to 3 pass, and the signal came here, and he entered in this area after little pullback with the target that are filled here. 1 and the 2 and 3 were broke even, and that's the trade took using this signal. And as you see, every part of the algo is followed. And let me fast forward. Is explaining that this is downtrend and this is very low risk area, downtrend, high probability trade area, over what area, and the short signal, and the risk to reward ratio on the 19th of July. So thanks, Ren, for sharing these trades with us and students. The next clip was from Castra, who shorted the Nasdaq on 19. As you see, after rejection at this level, we have a downtrend that is forming, and this head and shoulder again testing this level and gaining momentum. This is the channel is going down, so he entered in right area in very good risk to reward, and the reward is, let me go forward. He reached the target with this amount of initial risk and this amount of reward that is expecting to gain. So let me fast forward his video. Okay, I'm going fast forward to see the end of clip. This was end of clip. So anyway, he can exit manually and still gain significant amount of points on the Nasdaq on 19. I think this is pre-market. I'm not sure his time frame. Okay, yeah, pre-market. This is another clip from Castro, our global instructor. This is now 2 hours later. This is close to the beginning of New York time, and he longed here and reaching this target. This is initial risk that is going to be trailed, and this is the target that he's aiming. So still very good risk to reward with high percent win, as you see here. initial risk to reward is still more than 2 with the high percent win, gives very high profit factor and expectancy. This is also another clip from Castro, who's showing that he longed the Nasdaq. This is 1 minute entry. Is using price action and order flow together to pinpoint the entry point with a small risk to reward ratio, as you see. And again, the major trend is uptrend, so this is high probability trade area according to our lessons. If you look at the bigger charts, it's going to be like that, and now it's accelerating in a smaller time frame. You will see the channel like this, and that's the good area of entry, and the 1/4 lower over sold area, so entered here, and is trailing and aiming for the bigger reward on the past resistance area. So thank you so much, Castro, for sharing all these trades with all of us. Then MF shared this trade on USD Japanese yen shorting. As you see, there was a rejection here at this level, and then you see it in a smaller time frame as a channeled downtrend, and with good entry of 5 minute against 30-minute structural chart. He entered here with multiple targets, position and trailing those to reach the target. So let me fast forward, and he usually trail it and enters exit when this breaks the line here. So thanks MF for sharing this trade with us. Also Easy shared this picture and a clip showing that he longed US 500, which is S&P 500, and you see his trading charts, structural entry and macro chart, and there was a beginning of the uptrend, and he took this swing safely and reached the target. So thanks Easy for sharing this and the clip that you sent. So hope these trades are useful for you, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day. Hello everyone, I'd like to share with you a few trades posted by our graduate students and instructors on 11th of August. This trade is from MG, who's shorting the Gopher after seeing the macro charts downtrend and retesting this, and the pullback got completed. Again, a new channel is formed here, and with on the structural chart on the macro we have downtrend like this, and on the smaller time frame the channel is like this, and you can see it's gaining momentum. So he's entering in the right position, and then he managed the trades actively and moved the trade to a stop loss. So let me see, he's trailing now, stop loss, passing the break even, locking profit, and see if it can reach the targets. And he also adjusted targets 1 and 2. Let me fast forward the video and see. Now I think it reached the first target, and now trailing the second one with this trend line, and if it hits this trend line it exits. He exits a target with profit. And thanks very much MF for sharing your trade with us. The next trade is from Rand, our global instructor and programmer, showing that he longed Aussie USD here. The signal of his program that checks the first 4 algo was received at this point on 11th using these 4 hours, 30-minute and 5-minute charts. And as you see, he is waiting for pullback, and because it's in right area, the next candle, I think he's entering and managing the 3 position using exit strategy number 3, and reached all the targets here. Also, he showed a trade that was taken using these 3 time frames again on his robot, detecting an uptrend on New Zealand dollar CAD, and the signal came here, but he waited for the pullback based on algo 4 and 5 and entered here with single position and taking the profit with exit strategy number 1. Thanks Ren for sharing these trades with us. Then Castro, our global instructor, sent this clip that is longing the looks like Nasdaq US 100. Yeah, it's a CFD of Nasdaq. So let me go to his clip. This is 1 hour chart. Macro shows pullback here got completed. There's rejection here of the price on here and also here. So an uptrend is forming in you can see it better on 5-minute chart here. If we stop it here, we see clear the rejection at this point that is forming an uptrend and gaining momentum. And with this increased momentum, we are expecting the price to go higher and reach somewhere around this again target. But for the safety, he's putting target here that is covering all previous resistance areas. So all these resistance points plus this failed price that shows as a support. All of this is a good area for this profit. And with this entry here, the stop loss now very tight. Initial risk to initial reward is significant. And let me fast forward his video. So it's getting close to the target now, as you see, and almost there. And thanks for sharing this, Castro, with us. That's the end of his clip. This is the second clip from Castro showing that after reaching those initial targets, here again he re-entered positions and taking long position on this level. So 430, just a second. Yeah, so that was previous trades, and this is a new one after completing this pullback here. Now he's entering after seeing that the price responded to this previous resistance, and that in uptrend became support and is forming a new channel and completing the pullback. So the pullback got completed, sorry, here the pullback got completed and we are forming a new channel, and this channel has high probability. And now with the entry here, which is the good one for area, he's gaining a good risk to reward. This much initial risk because these are previous support, and stop loss may not reach easily these levels with this momentum, uptrend momentum, and this is the reward that he's aiming. And let me see his trade, fast forward it. Anyway, that's the end of his video, and he so far reached about a ratio of, I think this is 1 and this is 4 risk to reward ratio, and it's still very high probability. Thanks, Castro, for sharing your trades on Nasdaq CFD with us. MG also shared this clip, and he's doing the same, longing the Nasdaq CFD using Forex broker and actively managing the positions with add-ons on MetaTrader. You see the positions that are reaching the target on a smaller 1-minute time frame against a 5-minute time frame, and if he sees lack of momentum based on this trend line here. He exit the trades manually. And let's see the end of his trade. I'm fast forwarding his clips. So it looks like it's gonna reach the last target here or exit manually. Okay, he closed it here manually. So that was good. Initial risk to reward, similar pullback, and again continuation of the uptrend with high probability using the 5 algos. And thank you MG for sharing your trades with us. Also easy shared this picture shorting S&P 500 CFD and looking at his macro of 30 minutes that showed rejection here and lower low here, head and shoulder on the 5-minute charts forming a channel downtrend, seeing the trading channel here within the structural channel, which is high probability trade area. So I'll go 1 2 3 past, and here entry of this slope that is accelerating in the good area of risk to reward, and also overbought area, which is algo 4 and 5, and entry signal and exit strategy number 1. Everything is according to path system with exit strategy number 1 that reached the target. And thanks also Easy for sharing your trade results with us. Hope these trades are useful for everyone, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, some experience. Yeah, I know all you Forex watchers people have experience trading breakouts, but let's dive straight into it today. Okay, so just as we begin, so the room is packed. It's been packed for like 30 minutes, I think. For those of you who couldn't get in, I apologize. You can watch the recordings, or if you're already watching the recordings, I've been noticing the room gets full 30 minutes prior. So we're working on a new webinar system where you can, as many people as they want can get in. It's going to be unlimited attendance. Okay, so we're going to bump it up to 1,000, 2,000 people for attendance. So, all right, let's get started here. Okay, so what kind of breakouts are there? What things can break out? What techniques can break out? Okay, news, range, support resistance. Okay, candle patterns. Supply and demand. Okay, very similar to support resistance, but okay. Supply and demand. And fib levels. Okay, now if we are looking at this list, isn't that practically everything in the market? That's practically the whole market. Like, so basically, trading a breakout is not a specific thing. Breakout is a specific style. Okay, there is no, oh, this time we're gonna do something else, and then that time we're gonna do breakouts. No, you can do a breakout at any time. It depends how you target it and how you approach it. Okay, so breakouts. Let's start from the very beginning, and we'll start from there. Okay, now the news breakouts, they're the most deadliest ones and the most dangerous ones. Okay, because the news breakouts can whipsaw. Okay, does that make sense? How many of you guys here trade news breakouts? Twice, me, okay, too dangerous, never again, okay, good. Okay, and trading a breakout for the sake of a breakout is simply telling the market you are unaware which direction the market's gonna go. Give me something and I'll trade that way. Okay? And then a million strategies around it have been developed, but no understanding of what a breakout really is. So we're going to go into that deep today, okay? We're going to go deep into that. We're going to uncover that myth and everything, where all the trading strategies out there that's like a whole breakout strategy is just useless. Because this, my friends, is a breakout. Right? When the markets go above this line, everyone is hitting a buy. Okay? Everyone's hitting a buy. And what happens to their buys? They get killed, right? They get killed. So when you look at situations like this, all breakouts and stuff like that can be very dangerous. Now, take a look at this one. That's a breakout, right? So let's go through all the breakout strategies that you can think of. We're going to go one by one, okay? Breakout strategy number 1. If it breaks below, hit the sell. That guy loses. Breakout strategy number 2. If it breaks below, let it pull back and hold below that same support resistance, and then you hit the sell. Okay. Here's the sell afterwards there. Meander, 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 stop loss. Okay? And then we're looking at a whole bunch of things like, oh, well, if you have a breakout, put your stop loss up on this area up here. And that's when we say, go home. Okay? That's when we say go home. Because if you're trading with a stop loss that big, what's the point? Right? Which time frame is this? Let me open this up here. This is on the 15-minute chart that I'm looking at here. Yeah, you guys can see it on the left now here. €USD on the 15-minute time frame. Okay. Ranges. Ranges. Can everyone tell me that this is a range? Is this true? Is that a range? Yeah? Okay. What if I do this? Okay, do you guys see that market there now? At that point, did you know it was a range? No. Would you know to sell once the market gets up to this area? No. Okay. But what happens when the range develops? At what point do you notice the range is developing? Okay, let's move this forward. Move this forward. Market gets up to here, very, very strong. We're still unaware there's a range situation here. Okay, Linus, no higher highs, no lower lows. Excellent, excellent. But we need that data first to say it's a range. We can't just declare it a range yet, right? Yeah, 4 touches basically. Excellent figure, Philip and Eddie. Okay, and then the market comes back down, and right around the base, it starts to react. Now, take a look at this first one here. When this green candle shows up where my arrow is, can everyone hear me just fine? Yeah? Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, at this point where the green candle just pops right up, really, really strong there, wouldn't that person be like, the range is right there. That's the range. And then a buy might be hit right there. Thinking that we're on the 4th touch. I can see there was no higher high. I can see the market struggling to come down to make a lower low. And then that green candle comes and I'm like, yes, it's a buy. What happens to that buy? Okay, the buy gets cut, right? It gets stopped out. Stopped out, yeah. All right. Then the market proceeds to go long and long and long. The whole thing has left now. You're sitting there waiting for a breakout, but no breakout to understand at what point do I get in? At what point can I get in? And how do I trade this range thing? If there is a range, how do I trade it? You know, because once I get this fourth point down here, then my mind is stuck to a range and I'm expecting to sell from here because that's the fifth touch. So if that's the fifth touch, I'm looking at selling that thing. Well, what happens to that sell? Also out. Too late. Right? So understanding the market, like I always teach you guys in all my webinars, is reading the market is where it all makes a difference. Okay? And then you can incorporate the secondary stuff is what's your edge? Your edge meaning, are you a trend pullback trader? Are you a range trader? Are you a breakout trader? And all that stuff. Okay? So we're just identifying the scenarios right now. Once we identify them, then we're going to go into what and the hows in a bit. Okay? So can anyone relate to this? You guys can all relate to this? That there is uncertainty in figuring out when the right moment is. Right? Okay, so let's move further. Let's open this up more. Okay, now let's dig deeper into this. Now, first of all, understanding logic of support equals resistance. Let's go into that. How many of you guys were here last webinar? Put a 1. Okay, we went through support equals resistance last webinar. Okay, and for those of you who do not know it, most likely if you're watching this recording, there will be a link somewhere showing up on the recording, or it's going to be in the description. All right, here, take a look at this one right here. If I draw this as my support, is that correct? No, because that's not the place where the market held. Yeah, that's not the place where the market held. Take a look at this price right here, where the market kept coming down to, moving away from, down to, probed out, and held on the upper side of it. Which means this is just a tail. It looks like a candle got through, but it didn't. On a higher time frame, it would look like this. But if I go down to a lower time frame, I'll see all of these tails filled up like a candle. Is that correct? You guys understand that logic? It's exactly what you see right here. This right here is nothing but a tail, but on this time frame, it looks like there's 2 candles that got out. Clear? So keep an eye out for these things because we're going to use these things as a understanding of what is going on. All right, so if I put my line back to where it's supposed to be, and then I say, okay, well, I didn't make a higher high. Okay, I'm gonna go through it one more time. It looks like there was some confusion there. When the market goes through your support resistance, but comes right back, that down there is just a tail. If you go up a higher time frame, it looks like this. You see these tails? If you see these tails, how would you draw your support? Would you draw your support here? The price is holding here. Or would you draw your support here? Oh, price is holding here. If you draw it down here, what's going to happen is you don't see that price got rejected and resumed from this area. This is a rejection area. Price keeps getting knocked back. That means this price is not wanted. If I go to a lower time frame on the 5 minute or the 1 minute, this tail that you see is going to be full of candles. But in reality, nothing happened there. The market went there and came right back. Make sense? All right. So, Chris, there's a question. So on minor support resistance, putting down 2 lines for areas are unnecessary. Yes, for minor ones, that's correct. Okay? So keeping a close eye on how quickly the market went out and came back, like this. Take a look at this one. That is your resistance right there. The price went above, but he came right back down quickly. That's your resistance. Okay, it's not up here. Okay, so you'll get the hang of, when you play around like this, you get the hang of seeing the higher time frame and the lower time frame all in one picture. It's like seeing the universe above and below on one screen. Okay, so moving back to this area here. So we got a resistance up here holding, and then we got our support. We're like, it's not here, it's here. I'm gonna extend this out. So I'm gonna extend this out using the ray. So I have an idea in case I don't see the future, and it gets extended out all the way to the right. So I use the ray to extend it out, and then the price starts coming down and down and down and down. Now, at what point do I start thinking that this could be a range? When I have this, when I have that, when I have this, is it at that point I start thinking, okay, we got 3, no higher highs, no lower lows, and for some reason, this price keeps respecting this resistance again and again and again, because it moved away from this resistance. But this time it's coming in for the 4th touch, and we're like, what if this support or previous resistance reactivates? Okay, so instead of putting our focus on trading the breakout here, which is getting into the game very, 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 very late, we need to put all of our attention in putting a little bit of homework and focusing on grabbing the move. Does that make sense? Let me restart the audio maybe. It looks like it's going in and out for many of you guys. All right, is that better? Okay. Yeah, it may cut a little bit sometimes. Just bear with me. If there's something you want me to repeat, just let me know. Okay? So the market then pulls back and pulls back and pulls back. And as we discussed in some of the previous webinars, is when the markets are pulling back like that, that's a hint, because you're comparing this downtrend to the previous uptrend. How's the downtrend compared to this uptrend here? Slow, right? So if it's slow, weak, and or slower. Okay, good. Now, let's still take a step back and think. How is this uptrend compared to the downtrend here? How's that uptrend?